While looking around at all these individuals, at least one thing fits. We all have a very special friend that doesn't mind much what we call it. Some call it love and some call it joy. Some call it tingling bliss. Some call it peace of mind or soul, and some just plain old happiness. Spirit is the wind from heaven, soul the bird so free. Grace is a gift to all of life throughout eternity. Well, I've sung this song a lot, it seems, at least 100 lifetimes or more. But every time I look into the eyes of one who knows it, I've just got to sing it once more. Some call it love and some call it joy. Some call it tingling bliss. Some call it peace of mind or soul, and some just plain old happiness. Spirit is the wind from heaven, soul this bird so free. Grace is a gift to all of life throughout eternity. Well, so many different roads have brought us here today on this journey home to be. This path is always here, unveiled throughout the years for the likes of you and me. Some call it love and some call it joy. Some call it tingling bliss, that's what I call it. Some call it peace of mind or soul, and some just plain old happiness. Spirit is the wind from heaven, soul this bird so free. Grace is a gift to all of life throughout eternity. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill Spees. Bill is our old friend from back in Unity in Edgewood, and you can hear more of Bill's music for free at bandcamp.com. He has close to 75 original songs uploaded there, and if you want to take that music on the road with you, it's just $1 per download per song. And my name is Anita Landry, and it's my joy to welcome you here to the light and love that is Unity of South Sound. If you have any questions, concerns, or joys to share, you can contact our office at unityofsouthsound.org. You can just place your cell phones into the silence as we center and reconnect with the truth of who we are. Will you please join me in saying our opening affirmation? There is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God, goodness, omnipotence. Our mission statement, inspired by the divine as an inclusive spiritual community, we explore and express our highest potential. Our vision statement, present and centered in divine love, we co-create a peaceful and awakened world. And our core values, We are love, joy, abundance, spirit guided. And now Reverend Megan will lead us in an opening prayer.
I forgot I'm usually used to having one attached to me. So before I do our prayer, I just want to acknowledge everyone for our holiday weekend and all that it represents for each of us. And many of you don't know that I was out of town all week at Unity's annual convention in Kansas City. And I just want you to know that I brought back a lot of revitalized energy, and I want you to know what we are a part of in the Unity movement. We have Unity Worldwide Ministries and Unity Headquarters. They are doing a lot of work on our behalf to prepare us for the future. And your leadership team, your board of trustees and myself are taking that material on and looking at how we can integrate it into Unity of South Sound so that we are preparing ourselves for a future to thrive, but also to be able to offer each of our members the best of the programming and services that we possibly can. And so we appreciate your participation and your presence and knowing that there is something that you're being called to be here for. And it is our intention to provide something that is useful and beneficial and practical and applicable to your life. And so that is what we're holding the intention for today. So as I light the candle, remember that you are the light, we are the light, and everything we think, say, and do makes a difference. We take a moment to close our eyes and to hold that awareness in our hearts. As we bring our attention back to our opening prayer of there is only one presence and one power active in my life, in the universe, in this ministry, God, goodness, omnipotence. And we are one with that presence and power. So silently affirm in your mind, I am one with that presence and power. I am one with that presence and power. Feel it. Notice where it touches you. To be open and receptive to that divinity that is you, that is guiding you into everything you think, say, and do. And so we celebrate that as the freedom that we have to choose intentionally our life. And we hold the vibration of wholeness for all of those that have requested a prayer intention through Unity of South Sound. And anyone that you hold in your heart, that you love and maybe is challenged by life right now, that we see them remembering that they are divine by nature and that wholeness is their birthright. And we see them all lifted up into finding their way through one step at a time, lovingly guided into whatever is theirs to do, and for ourselves as well. And in the name and through the power of the living Christ nature that is who we are, we give thanks, and so it is. Amen.
I invite you, if you're able to stand, and join with our song leader, Joey Sandal-Hill, as we sing our congregational songs.
Greet the neighbor next to you. Say namaste, I bow to you. Look around in the sanctuary. Feel the love that's shining through. We come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, greet the neighbor next to you. Say, I behold the God in you. Lift your hands in the sanctuary. Let the love come shining through. come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, greet the neighbor next to you. Say, God is love and so are you. You're at home in the sanctuary. Receive the love that's here for you. We come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love.
Well, the song said it all. It's now time to greet your neighbor with a namaste greeting. If you feel comfortable, you can give an elbow bump or put your hands together and say, Namaste. I behold the divinity you are.
Pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you.
The inspirational reading for this morning is from today's daily word. The word is guidance. I seek, trust, and follow my guidance. Seeking divine guidance means tuning out information and opinions and turning inward. Then, with an open heart and quiet mind, I can better feel the nudge of my intuition, my inner voice. I receive divine guidance much in the way flowers in a field soak up sunshine. Just as following the sun is innate for them, I have an instinct to trust my inner knowing. Even if my guidance surprises me, I trust it to lead me on the path to my highest good. I follow where I feel called to go. I heed the still, small voice within and pay particular attention to the serendipitous circumstances I find along the way. I seek, trust, and follow my guidance. As I do, I deepen my relationship with God, knowing wherever I go, I do not travel alone. The scripture is from Isaiah 58:11. The Lord will guide you continually. And now Reverend Michael will lead us in a time of meditation.
So find a place to feel comfortable in your seat. Scratch that little place that itches now so we can sit in the silence together. Move that place so that you're feeling into the midst of the energy and the consciousness that we have here. Take a few deep breaths, opening your heart, your mind. Let the vibration of our singing bowl give you a place of resonance, harmony. Today I ask you to follow the words into your imagination and allow yourself to sit in the quiet as you might find high upon a mountain lake. And as you look over the stillness of the water, all that you see is a reflection of the sky, the blue, the white of the clouds, the trees, and maybe a reflection of the sun. And yet we are not really looking at those things, but rather a reflection of those things. We are looking at the water as it reflects the sky and all the surrounding scenery. When we come to that realization, we ask, is it the sky that we see? Is it the clouds, the trees, the sun? What is the truth? Our experience shows that what we see is not always the truth. And so as we allow ourselves to be transformed and understand that our experience of this beautiful mountain lake is an expression of what we think it is. So today we free ourselves from judgment. We free ourselves from having to know. We free ourselves by allowing the life that we live to be expression. Living in the question, sitting in the mystery, allowing this experience to unfold. And as we take a moment in the silence, we allow this beautiful transformation to begin. And as you release that picture of the mountain lake and come back to the place in which you are sitting now, bring with you the peace that you find in the silence. Bring with you the love that you have for all of creation. And so it is.
This song's called All There Is to Be Is You and Me. Open up your window to me. Let me see just who you want to be. No need to hide way down inside, 'cause really all I am is you. You just smile through me, and I'll smile through you, on into this freedom we can be. Together we will find it's only a matter of time, and all there is to be is you and me. Well, there's not really any big difference between you and me. We both have all we need to be. Since we're all coming home, why don't we make it you and me, on into this wide open sea. You just smile through me, and I'll smile through you, on on into this freedom we can be. Together we will find it's only a matter of time. All there is to be is you and me. No, there's nothing quite as important as this moment here and now. While we sit here watching ourselves peeking through, greater awareness is here to take us into this being of higher life we hold in view. You just smile through me, and I'll smile through you. On into this freedom we can be. Together we will find it's only a matter of time. And all there is to be is you and me. Together we will find it's only a matter of time. And all there is to be is, all there is to be is, all there is to be is you and me. Thank you.
Good morning. How you doing? Oh, not all of you all at once. That's one at a time. How are you? You doing okay? Okay, we'll go through everybody in just a minute here. Today we're talking about freedom. And I'm so glad that you chose to use your free time to be here today. Nice to have you with us. So normally I start with a story that may or may not be true. Why choose anything different for today? So here's a story that may or may not be true. Once upon a time, there was this gentleman, we'll call him Paul, because that's his name. And he was decided that he wanted to pursue Nirvana. Not the rock group out of Seattle, but Nirvana in the sense of the Buddhist tradition. And in his pursuit of this transcendent state, he decided to join a monastery. Now, in this monastery, they took some very serious vows, and one of the vows was a vow of silence. And they were only allowed to say 2 words every 5 years. It was a very strict rule. So they were very quiet, as you can imagine. So after the first 5 years, our friend Paul has 2 words for the head abbot, who is the head of the monastery. And he comes before the abbot and he said, "Bed hard." And the abbot said, "I hear you, my son, go in peace." And after 10 years in this monastery, our friend Paul comes to the abbot, and he gets to say 2 more words, right? So what does he say? Food cold. The abbot says, "I hear you, my son, go in peace." Well, 15 years into this ordeal of finding nirvana, our friend comes in front of the abbot, and from his mouth these 2 words come, I quit. To which the abbot said, that doesn't surprise me. Ever since you got here, all you have done is complain. Freedom. The freedom to pursue what it is that we want to bring us happiness, joy into our lives. And some people think of freedom as something that you have to fight for. As the Saint Janus of Joplin might say, freedom is just another word for nothing left to lose. Freedom is an inside job. Freedom is something that we gather in our thoughts. And in the Christian tradition, we've heard that the concept of freedom is coupled and linked with the concept of truth. You may have heard, ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Hear that before? Sure. But you also might have heard in the Christian tradition that Yeshua, which is Jesus' real name, I like to use it because it's more identifiable for me. He says, not only about the truth, but also, he said, where I go, you cannot come. When he was talking about going to the Father, which is the higher plane of consciousness, as we describe it metaphysically, where I go, you cannot come. Do you know why? Because salvation is an individual inside job. The whole concept of the message, the Messiah, comes to us individually and not as a mass group, but one soul at a time. And so we find this truth in lots of different places in our world. For example, in Taoism, the concept of freedom is very simple. Less is more. The more that you share, the more that you give, the more that you have. There's a saying that we have in recovery circles that says, you can't give away what you do not have. So we must give it away to keep it. Talk about a paradox. That's exactly what the whole concept of the Tao Te Ching is based on. It's based on little nuggets of inspiration that make us sit, meditate, and think about. What is the truth about us? If the truth indeed will set us free, and if we can express the truth, how do we get to truth so that we can eventually get to freedom? What's the path? What do we do to get there? First, we have to be honest with ourselves. The first thing we have to do is, like Reverend Megan said last week or the week before, that we have to accept the concept of who we are, where we are, in the here and the now. We can't look to what we're going to be later or what we were before. But we have to find ourselves in the now because it is the only starting place that there is. To prove that, try starting from somewhere else. Give it a shot. See if you can start something now, tomorrow. Because there is only now. Everything that has ever happened to you, every experience that you've ever had, happened in the now back then. When you came here today, that experience of getting here all happened in the now, in real time. Here's the interesting thing. You can also not do anything in the future from the now because you're not there yet, but it will be the now when you get there. And when you get there, you'll be in the now, and the moment You leave that now, you'll be in the now then too. So being honest with who we are, what we are, where we are, is of vital importance because that's the truth that we know. In our meditation today, we talked about seeing a reflection of the sky. Were we seeing the sky? Well, yeah. But what we were really looking at is the surface of the water, weren't we? We were looking at the surface of the water, reflecting the sky and the clouds and the sun. So what is it that is the truth? You know, a few years ago, maybe 10 years ago, there was this big thing going on as, I have to speak my truth. No, you don't. You have to know your truth. But you don't have to speak your truth. Cast not ye pearls before swine. It's not important that you tell everybody what your truth is. It's important that you know your truth. And that those that love you, those that want to see you succeed, support your truth. So in this week of the 4th of July, of this Independence Day, we're not throwing tea into the Boston Harbor. You know, the whole concept of becoming independent from England was kind of a strange scenario, wasn't it? They said, we'll throw all this tea into the water. And the people in the United States says, fine, we'll drink coffee. You don't see any Starbucks out there with lots of tea in it, do you? Well, you can get tea at Starbucks, I guess. So, who are we? Have you stopped to ask? Have you stopped to ask, in order to be free, I must know the truth about myself? Freedom goes beyond the concept of religion or speech or press or assembly or petition. It goes beyond the right to bear arms and the right that citizens have of the United States of America and any other free country or any country that's not free. It's not about the freedom that comes from a political point of view. Freedom is about a state of mind. Freedom is about being able to think freely. And here's the interesting thing, no one can take that from you. No one can take your freedom unless you give it away. So when we find ourselves talking about things that are going on in life and we get upset about them, you have a right to feel the way you feel, express the way you express. But remember that freedom comes to everyone, including those who oppose the way you think about stuff. There are times in conversation when maybe my thoughts would be diametrically opposed to someone else's thoughts. And I would say to them, well, if I thought the way you think, we'd both be wrong. So there's a wonderful thought that comes along with this idea of being free. And people have been talking about it for millennia. One of the first stories we learn as children that come from the Old Testament has to do with freeing the Jews, the Israelites, from Egypt. It's a freedom thing. But you know what? There is no documentation that there was a mass exodus from Egypt. Yet all of the other ideas at that time were documented. All of the other major events of that time were documented in Egyptian writings. So we find it interesting that maybe the entire concept of the biblical studies is metaphor and allegory. What if nothing about what you read there is true, factually? But when we take it and look at it deeper, which is what we do in unity, is we take a look at what's behind this presentation of information, what does it really mean for us? We find out the truth. That there are things of this earth that we do not completely and totally understand, no matter how hard we try to put our science to it. For as long as mankind has been around, we've still not been able to figure out how the pyramids were built, which blows me away. We can't figure out some of the things of how stones in Stonehenge got to where they are. Don't have any concrete ideas about that, and that is the truth. One of the greatest expressions of truth are three simple words: I don't know. And that's why we look. That's why we seek. In the book of John, we hear Jesus say, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Never understood that till I understood that that too is an allegory. It's a metaphor. The way is not something that you can be. It's something that you experience. I experience the way by how it feels to me to be free. Because we imprison ourselves with thoughts, with judgments, with jealousies, with over-ambitious ideas. Non-inclusiveness imprisons us. And so we can let go of all of that by understanding that each person has their journey. And if we honor and respect it, even when they don't agree with us, we can live in harmony. You see these bumper stickers all over the place that says, coexist. Can we coexist in our mind? Can we allow those people who don't agree with us philosophically, politically, scientifically, to be children of a loving God? That's my challenge. My challenge is to be completely in alignment to the truth that sets me free. So let us do this as we go forward and get ready to go on a new adventure here at Unity South Sound. What is it that you would like to express in the freedom that we call our community? I'll tell you a little story about bells that are ringing in the background. Let me see the story. Oh, that's not the right story. Once upon a time, there was this pond that was filled with lotus blossoms. So many were the lotus blossoms that you could hardly see any water. It was just lotus blossoms floating on the top of the water. And underneath these lotus blossoms were the stems of the lotus plant. And those stems ran all the way down to the bottom of this pond where it was murky and muddy and silty. And it's from that muck that these lotus flowers got their root. They were rooted into this. And along and among the roots and the stems of the lotus blossoms were water bugs. Little water bugs. Running around doing water bug things all day long. They were doing this and doing that. Things seemed to be going on okay, being completely covered on top by these lotus flowers. They didn't know what was going on beyond them. They didn't understand what was on the other side of the leaf that they were looking at the bottom of. Until one day, the leader of the water bugs decided that it was in her best interest to be free to climb the stem of the lotus flower. And she just took off climbing the stem, and hand over hand over hand over hand, there's 6 of them, hand over hand, they got up to the top, and they got to the underside of the flower, and with all the strength that she could muster, that all the strength that she had left, she climbed upside down to the edge of the petal and flipped over onto the top, to which she fell asleep exhausted. The following day, she woke up completely different. During the day prior to, as she came to the top of the lotus flower, she made a transformation. She became a dragonfly. She was able to fly. When she was willing to find her way to the top of the stem, she transformed from a water bug to a dragonfly. Lifting off, she flew above her friends with great joy. She could fly, and the sorrow came to her because her friends did not fly. She yelled to them, "Climb the stem. Climb the stem." And as they heard her call, they followed, and they climbed the stem. And one by one, and 10 at a time, they came to the top of the lotus pond and turned to butterflies, or turned into dragonflies. We are the climbers of the stem. We are the dragonflies in this embryonic state. We are breaking free of the sightless, soundless pit that water bugs live in to become dragonflies. Climb the stem. Your truth, your freedom awaits you at the top of the lotus flower. Climb the stem. Say it with me one time. Climb the stem. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Michael. We want to thank all of you who might be joining us for the first time here or online. Thank you for sharing your consciousness and your love with us. Also, we have a welcome packet for you on the back table of the sanctuary if you're here in person, and we also encourage you to sign our guest book. If it's the second time you've joined us, welcome back. And if you've been with us for a long time now, welcome home. To all our friends, we want to share our unity blessing. To our newcomers and live streamers, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divinity you are. At this time, we'd like to invite our ushers forward to prepare for our love offering, and Bill Spees to prepare for his next song. This is the time in our service when we get a chance to share of our financial blessings with this community. There are many easy ways to do so. You can give through our Facebook page by clicking on the donate button at the top right. It's easy and secure. You can call our office. You can mail it to us. Or if you're here in person, there are offering envelopes in the back of the pews, and you can drop an envelope or a gift into the offering plate. Whichever way we make our tithes, we hold these love offerings in this moment in our hands or in our hearts and affirm this together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am in perfect balance and flow with the universal tides of giving and receiving, and we are truly blessed. Amen.
Tell me how do I write this song? What do the words really want to say? How do I sing a melody? What are the chords you'd have me play today? Well, it all comes from the heart of God. It all comes through you and through me. Yes, it all comes in waves of love. It's the heart of God that sets us free. It's the heart of God that helps us see. Tell me how do we sing this song? What does the heart really want to say? How do we listen deep inside? What are the words you'd have me hear today? Well, it all comes from the heart of God. It all comes through you and through me. Yes, it all comes in waves of love. It's the heart of God that sets us free. It's the heart of God that helps us see. It's the heart of God that sets us free. Thank you. Thank you.
That was beautiful. Okay, we have a few announcements to share with you this morning, and we'd like you to know that you can keep up to date on all of our Sunday services and events by subscribing to our weekly e-newsletter. Go to our homepage and click on the newsletter sign up button. Then fill out your contact info and submit. Your info will be safe on our secure site and will never be shared. We want to say a great big thank you to all of you who attended our anniversary celebration and Q&A last Sunday. If you haven't done so yet, please fill out our questionnaire. There are several ways to access the form. You can access it from our e-blast. You can scan the code you see on the screen with your smartphone, or you can fill out a printed copy that's on the back table of the sanctuary, and we really appreciate your feedback. Today is Chaplain Sunday, and we have a chaplain to pray with you after the service. Today's chaplain is, Today's chaplain is Scott Davidson, and he'll be over in the foyer. And if the door is closed, please wait to be invited inside. That means someone's already praying inside. And we also request that you wear a mask in that space, and masks are provided. And I want to call up Reverend Megan to talk about our next spiritual walk and talk, which will be next Sunday.
Thank you. So we had our first walk and talk. It's something we're doing this summer for June, July, and August, the second Sunday of every month. And next weekend is our second Sunday. So on the 9th at 12:30, I invite you to meet me at Cummings Park. It's down along the waterfront. And we're going to walk to the Chinese Reconciliation Park, where we'll stop and we'll have a chat. And so we invite you just to bring what you need: water, snacks, a lunch, sunscreen, all of those kinds of things. That information are on the details of our e-blast, and yeah, that's where you can find it. Anyway, there's a sign-up sheet back there, or you can email me at revmegan, that's MEGHAN, southsound@gmail.com, to let me know you plan to join us. There is parking along for Cummings Park, but there are several other parking places either before or after it along the waterfront. If it's full, because I don't have control over all the other people that are wanting to go to the park that day. And next week, I'll let you know my number so you could text me if you're going to join us along the way. But it's a wonderful way for us just to get out and breathe the fresh air, connect with each other. If you have a dog and you want to bring it along, that's fine. Just know that you're responsible for making sure it gets along with everybody. And the following month, I just want to let you know, in August, is it the 9th? No, July 9th. Whatever, it's the second Sunday. We will be meeting at Owen Beach and then walking up and taking the ferry over to Vashon. We're just going to stay on the ferry for our chat and then come back. And it's really inexpensive. It's only $6.20 round trip for everyone. But if you're a senior like myself, it's only $3.10 round trip. So it's a really good deal. You just have to come prepared. So I just want you to know, I want to tag on in that. How many of you have seen on our Facebook page or in our e-blast, the Coming This Summer, May the Force Be You, July and August? Starting next week, we're starting our summer series for 8 weeks on May the Force Be With You. It is the spiritual lessons from the movies of Star Wars. There's 3 different movies we're going to draw from. The kids are doing the curriculum. We're going to be talking about it, and it's going to be really fun. But I want you to go on Facebook and see the video that our social media person, Mary, put together, and share it with your friends. This is designed and planned so that we can invite people outside of our already Unity community that might be seeking what we have to offer. And it's designed for families, so the kids are involved. It's a great way to bring families into our Unity community. So I just want to let you know, and our picnic, August 20th, will also be built around the Star Wars theme. So if you have special costumes or anything, just be starting to get them ready. So I just want to let you know all the fun stuff that's coming. Thank you.
Project Paintbrush. This is our 10th summer partnering with Paint Tacoma Beautiful to weatherize, paint, and transform the home of a low-income, disabled, or elderly homeowner in the Tacoma area. This might be our last summer participating in the event, so if you have loved this event over the past 10 seasons, come out and join us. We plan to hold Paint Day on Saturday, August 5th, and we will need all the volunteers we can get on that day. There are many ways to participate, even if you're not able to help paint. And we are also accepting donations of trim cups, paint pan liners, and tubes of caulking, outdoor only. Please see Heidi after the service if you have any questions. Now, our youth groups are off for the holiday, and our youngest kids are at kids camp, and some of our teens are counselors there this weekend. And so we want to bless all our youth wherever they are. To our young people, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divinity you are. Now, back by popular demand, we are bringing back birthday Sundays. If you have a July birthday, please stand so we can sing to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday,
You're wonderful.
happy birthday to you. Blessing you now. God is blessing you now. God is blessing you. You are wonderful. God is blessing you now.
And now I invite everyone to stand if you're able and join with Joey as we sing our peace song, sending peace to the entire world.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace and harmony. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love. The power of God protects us. I am the power. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever God is, I am, and all is well. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next Sunday.